list of do's and don'ts, so we had to abide by the do's. Like I still remember we were not allowed, even it's not because I am a girl, even my brother had to follow those. Like after 6 it was not allowed that we stay outside. Now here my in-laws, my father-in-law was very interested in studies, like he made it sure that I continue my MSc and complete my MSc. He was the chief mining advisor. Many people in Dhanbad know him, Mr. Sinha, chief mining, the first mining advisor to the railways. And he, I have become much more grounded, I'm much rooted, because I become much more calm. Like she taught me how to be, how to maintain the calmness of mind, neither to be too excited, neither to be too sad. All these things, like people at school tell me you're so calm, you're so calm.
This is one of your best quality.
But I have learnt it. Over the years I've learnt it. I know not to express too much of anger because that's finally not going to give me a result. I know too much of expression of happiness is also a very short-term happiness. Maybe the very next moment I'll have something in which I lose my temper.
Spiritual learning you got from your godmother.
Entirely.
Today we are starting a new segment and we have named it Unplugged. In this segment, we will be having interaction with the people who have made a name for themselves. And in this interaction, it will be solely based on the individual they are. So today we are starting our segment with our very respected Sharmila Sinha ma'am, Principal CREDO World School. Ma'am, good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks ma'am for giving us time.
My pleasure.
Ma'am, tell us about your childhood. Tell us about your upbringing. Tell us about your education. Tell us about your early life.
See, I was born in Calcutta and born into a small family. We are just 4 members, my parents and my brother and myself. Born into a conservative part of Kolkata, the old Calcutta, the North Calcutta, and with a legacy environment in the sense both my maternal and my paternal families were landlords, so those culture came that there were list of do's and don'ts, so we had to abide by the do's. Like I still remember we were not allowed, even it's not because I am a girl, even my brother had to follow those. Like after 6 it was not allowed that we stay outside. Okay, we had to be whether he's going to for his play or I'm outside, back at home by 6. That was the line drawn that we have to be back. And evening means like you will have to sit to do something. Either you are with a book or you read or you do something. No jumping. Jumping and all these things in the evening was considered to be a taboo. And like in Bengali we used to say ki maar ki shondhe debe. The shondhe deba shomay means you will have to be quiet and like change your dress and be quiet, be silent. So that was how it was for us. Okay, my mother was very strict, like she saw to our upbringing. My father was a silent observer, he supported us in everything, but he never directly told us about do's and don'ts. That was my mother's department entirely. Okay, and a very disciplinarian rule. Okay, in where like all my relatives, and especially in a Bengali family, as you know, studies takes the most important place. You do whatever, like I used to go for swimming, I used to go for so many curricular activities, but the overall emphasis was on studies. Like I had to study and I had to do well in my studies because my 2 cousin sisters, amar Pistuto Didira, they were like role models. Like they were from presidency, one with statistics honors, one with physics honors. They went to Trombay, they worked with bar, so that become a role model. Like you'll have to study, your goal should be that, you'll have to reach certain target in your life. Okay, so this is how it was. Plenty of rituals we had to practice coming from both the sides. Father's side, from the father's side we were in Hooghly, like my native place from my father's side was in Hooghly, Bhastara. And it was said like we were brought into that history, like sometimes in the time of 15 something they came from Rajasthan and settled in Bengal, and that is how it grew. So it grew like that. And we used to hear stories how during the Hoon attack what preparation they did. So it was like old. Now today also if you visit, it's a huge acre, a brick building all falling down. Nobody, there's just one descendant of the family who is still there. Okay, but every year Durga Puja is celebrated there still now.
So during the pujas, ma'am, you visit there, na?
I do not go very I used to go once upon a time, not now very regularly, because in my my Mamar Badi, which is in Howrah, there is also a Durga Puja celebrated. So I go there. You know, Durga Puja is celebrated in quite a number of our relatives' house, and each one of them have a legacy of 150, 170 years old. So I don't usually go to Bhastara, but I go to Howrah, which is my Mamar Badi, which is also I think 175 years old puja, and I go to my Mai's Mamar Badi, which is also a very old, where Warren Hastings had come, you know. So in the Durga Puja Mandap they have that Warren Hastings photo and everything there. So these two places I go when I go to. Yes. So that was, you know, so those were the things that we had to grow up with. Can't keep your hair open. In the evening you'll have to tie your hair. You know, there are so many things, so many things. But then at the same time, both me and my brother were sent to a missionary school. So it was a mix of both the things. Yes, like in school, we used to go to the chapel. That was the time when we had to go to the chapel. We used to sing hymns. We used to celebrate Christmas, and we were told that before the class begins, you'll have to do like this, that cross.
A mixture of both that.
So that was a part of the thing in school. And at home, it was again a different culture. Yes. So this is how we started growing up. Then I went to Calcutta Girls. My brother went to Calcutta Boys. Then after schooling, in between, my father was in the income tax, so it was a transferable job. So in between, we got a transfer to Kanpur, not for a very long period. So we were in Kanpur. There also I took admission in Methodist school. That was also a convent school, and their convent rules were stricter than what it was in Calcutta. You know, so and that really taught plenty of things to me, like, you know, how to stand, how to speak, how to wear a blazer. You know, they used to take, they used to teach us everything, like how to behave in the library.
And each and every
everything. It was wonderful learning things from there. How to behave in. There was a huge playground, so we had regular sports. The march past I still remember. We had the Anglo-Indian teacher who used to whip us if your legs were not going in tune. Left, right means it had to be left, right, and they used to tell us up to what height your knee has to be raised. You know, so these things the convent school really gave us a lot.
He was a perfectionist.
Yes. So, and we had, it was a Methodist school. It was not a Catholic school, it was a Methodist school. So most of the principals were from America, you know, so they had those Methodist culture and used to really do things for us. So if you are ready to imbibe, there's plenty of opportunities for you to learn. So that much for school. Then took admission in Presidency College in Kolkata with geography honors. So that was another experience, a heritage college.
Yeah, definitely.
So the building had its own charm, the building had its own heritage, wonderful professors, plenty of exposures, wonderful, really wonderful professors with plenty of depth, knowledge, sensitivity, intensivity to the students' requirement. Then we used to go to field trips, geography, you had to go for excursion. So that was another learning experience. Then of course master's degree, you know, because by virtue of my getting a rank in the first 4, I was the topper in the college and the first 4 in the university. So I could take up my MSc course through Presidency College. That was a privilege. Like you take up your MSc course through Presidency College. That means Presidency College, library and other facilities you can take even if you are doing a master's degree. So we got that, I got that privilege, that facility. I got a scholarship, very nominal in amount. It was only the prestige that I'm getting a government scholarship. The amount, I think these girls will laugh at the amount if I tell them what amount was there for the scholarship. But that was a scholarship.
Amount doesn't matter, ma'am.
Yeah,
the amount of prestige associated with
it
that
was
is
just
much more
because we
important.
got a scholarship, but the amount was very, and because of my father's salary, they always check up that father's, that amount became even smaller. But then, okay, so then got married. I completed my MSc Part 2 after marriage. Now here my in-laws, my father-in-law was very, very interested in studies. You know, like he made it sure that I continue my MSc and complete my MSc. He was the chief mining advisor. Many people in Dhanbad know him, Mr. Sinha, chief mining, the first mining advisor to the railways. And he was also a product of Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad, yes. So he also helped me a lot in the initial period after my marriage. It was with his interest that I first took up a job at ISL Jharia.
Oh, your first job was in ISL Jharia?
Yes, and that too by chance. It was not that I had applied, because I did not know anything at that time about Dhanbad. Because my MSc Part 2 was not complete, so I used to move from Dhanbad and Kolkata. Weekends I used to come, then I used to go back, attend classes there. So I was really not aware of people and places here. But after I completed my MSc, he said, why will you sit? So let me see if you can do anything. So he had gone there for my cousin brother-in-law's admission. Okay, so in that process, Dr. J.K. Sinha and he was talking. So Dr. J.K. Sinha must have said that there's a temporary vacancy for an English teacher, although my subject is not English. So he said, my daughter-in-law is there, you can just try. So the next day I went as an English teacher. Imagine me taking English. So I went. The place also looked very far, like Jharia. I really did not know anything. So he took me to Jharia to drop the first day, told me ki this is the bus, this is the bus. You know, plenty of people really helped me to become what
you are
today. Then my husband's friend got a bus pass for me in the BCCL bus.
Okay.
So that I used to go in the BCCL bus. That was his credit. So this is how I continued. Then Dr. J.K. Sinha also again helped me a lot. Look, because that was time I was a beginner, a very fresher in my early 20s. So he also helped me a lot how to do things, how to take classes. And then Mrs. Banerjee, in whose leave I was joining, she came back. So I discontinued, I came back. But then he again gave me a call after say 1.5 years to join in ISL Saraidhela.
Oh, Saraidhela.
When Mr. A.L. Das was the principal.
Over there, yeah.
So again, and by that time I had become a mother. I had a daughter also, but my parents-in-law took every responsibility, every care, and they said that you join. So I started my journey with ISL Saraidhela. A.L. Das again helped me. You know, I was really fortunate that every place, every people tried to groom me.
They were all supportive.
They really supported me. But I had to leave that school because Delhi Public came up. That time A.L. Das was not at all happy with me. He said, no, you should have continued. But DPS came up, so I joined DPS. So that is how I came into DPS, one of the founding members of Delhi Public School. And then, you know, in this whole part, in my life, like a large part of the influence was my godmother, Guru Ma.
Okay.
I'm initiated. Guru Ma has given me the initiation, so I'm in that spiritual order, Guru Ma's. And I think I got my initiation sometime in 90s. She was actually introduced to me by another senior colleague of mine from ISL Saraidhela, who also left that school and joined DPS. So both of us left that school and joined. So Guruma was Mrs. Gupta's godmother.
Okay.
So she just introduced me to her in one evening. She used to sing. She had a lovely voice. So when she used to do this spiritual song, renditions of the spiritual song, so she had just invited me. So I liked it. I came back and told my in-laws, my husband, so they invited her one day to do it in my place. So she came, she liked everybody at home, and then she gave me the initiation, and after that it had been a direct influence of her, like, you know, what to be done, what not to be done. She also helped a lot in my spiritual awakening and spiritual straightening of my life.
Okay.
Like, you know, I have become much more grounded, I'm much rooted, you know, I have become much more calm. Like, she taught me how to be, how to maintain the calmness of mind, neither to be too excited, neither to be too sad. You know, all these things, like people at school tell me, you're so calm, you're so calm.
Ma'am. This is one of your best quality.
But you know, I have learnt it. Over the years, I've learnt it. I know not to express too much of anger, because that's finally not going to give me a result. I know too much of expression of happiness is also a very short-term happiness. Maybe the very next moment I'll have something in which I lose my temper.
Spiritual learning you got from your godmother?
Entirely. More than 100%. More than 100%. You know, so her influence has really impacted my life.
Everyone has an inspirational figure or a motivational figure in their life. So ma'am, your inspiration or your
my parents, my mother, like my mother was dedicated, sincere in all her efforts to bring us up. Like, you know, I remember, like, she used to go beyond her, beyond to do things for us. Just that we are established, just that we are settled, just that we do good. And because my Bordi and Chhoddi were continuously there, of course they were much elder, but you know, that was there, they have reached that height. So you should also try to be there. It was not any competition, because she was almost elder to me by 12 years.
Ma'am, a healthy competition.
Not even a competition, just a focus. Like, you have to be, there should be a driving force, a driving motivation. Yeah. Like, you know, if they can do it. They were also from presidency. Maybe my joining presidency was to a large extent. My father is also from presidency, you know. So, you know, like I had in mind that I have to do whatever I need to do to get that cut-off percentage to enter presidency. Otherwise, there will be a loss of face. You know, this I had it in my mind.
So this also acted as a motivation.
Like, I had to do it. I have to. Yes, so that, you know, people do not say ki she could not qualify.
From joining ISL Jharia to becoming one of the most respected educationist figure in Dhanbad, your journey has been a long way, ma'am.
A long journey.
Long way.
Long journey.
There are many aspiring students, ma'am, who see you
and then
as their role model.
One should realize that over a long period of life's journey, there are bound to be ups and downs.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there will be places where you seem to be at the nadir of your situations, and there are places where you feel that, okay, I'm pretty much happy on the top. So one thing is that you have to know to stick to it. If you want to continue in the profession that you have chosen, you can also quit and find better options for you. But like, I knew I will be in this academic line, so you know, I had navigated the water very cautiously. Like, there were turmoils, there were periods. You must be knowing how DPS went through in one of the phases, so I was very much a part of that. So I was there in school, so I knew how to, you know, like, because Guruma was also there, you know, so I knew how to navigate. It was not that I never felt bad, but I kept my feeling bad within myself.
Patience and preservation.
That I had, you know, like, and I always had that intention of purpose and a purity of thought. That I always had.
Yes, ma'am.
Always, you know, like, I never like, whatever I do it with some purpose, for a general interest, not only my interest. I get, of course, my interest has to be there, but not very a selfish interest. Like, in definitely. Like, when I was in school, it was not that only I thought of myself, going from one grade to other grade, with all purity of intention and perseverance of purpose, I wanted to give something to the school also.
Yes, no, we are testimonial. We have seen your effort
like
in DPS.
Yes, I wanted to make the school make a name of itself. I wanted the primary wing, because I've spent a larger part of my career with the primary wing. So I wanted to give a place of its own, that place of recognition in whichever wing I was working
No,
with.
it's a universal truth. Delhi Public School reached its pinnacle in the period where you were headmistress of the junior wing. After that, you became the vice principal of the school. And Delhi Public was at its pinnacle at that point of time, ma'am. There is no doubt about it.
And I had the support of all my teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
When I was
100%.
working as a headmistress in the primary wing, I think all teachers helped me. It can't be a one-man show.
No, nothing, ma'am.
You know, it can't be a one-man show.
Captain is as
took
good
them-
as his team, ma'am.
Definitely, I took them into my confidence. They shared their thoughts with me. So it was a group work, and I enjoyed doing the work.
Ma'am, your message for those for whom you are a role model, who want to be like Sharmila Sinha, ma'am.
See, now because times have changed a lot. Okay, like the times have changed, the present generation are more tech savvy. The present generation knows, but even them, I should say, like, see, now the world is going through so many challenges, so many threats, so-called threats, global warming and so many things. So, you know, they should be equipped to surf, to browse into the future and to make these challenges into opportunities. Like, let them think, let them work on low carbon clean technology. That is what everybody, not only in India, around the world, this is the topic that is being widely discussed. So let them look into it, how to really work on low carbon clean technology, how is that going to help people's life, how could it be more inclusive, how could it be more assistive. Every development should be inclusive. We are still
definitely
not inclusive in our developmental approaches. There's still a wide cleft between the have-alls and not-haves.
Yeah.
Okay, the have-nots.
The have-nots and the
have-alls. You know, there's a big. So things should become more. You know, the future generations should see to how technology will be more assistive, more inclusive. How the overall development can be there. How development versus preservation and conservation can be attained.
This should go hand in hand.
Hand in hand, which is not really happening.
Right now, correct.
And it's a very difficult question. I've talked to many students who are now in very good positions now. Okay, there are many students who are stationed in different parts of the world. Sometimes they come, we meet. Even those who are now in ISM, who have just passed out, say 5-6 years back, they also sometimes come, we have a talk, we meet. So they all understand what is development, what should be the trajectory of development. But the trajectory of development to go simultaneously with conservation and preservation is very difficult. Okay, so you know, technology, inclusivity, morality, some values, ethics is also required. It's not only technological advancement at the cost of values and morality. I believe in morality and values also. You know, they give you a ground to stand firm. So the present generation should think of how, plus there are plenty of opportunities. The present generation should always think of upgrading their skills. That is very, very important. Technology is moving so fast that whatever is technologically advanced today will become technologically backward tomorrow.
Definitely.
It will become obsolete tomorrow itself.
Again, you will go back to the square.
Again, yes. Now, so much of artificial intelligence. Everybody is talking of AI. But everybody should understand that AI is just not for faking. AI has some positive role. AI also should play a role in medical science. AI should play a role in aeronautical science. AI should play a positive role.
And we should take the positive aspect of AI, not the negative.
Not the negative aspect.
Nowadays, what is happening? The negative aspect of AI are prevalent over the positive aspect of AI.
Yes, that is what is happening. It started that way. So that should not be it. Okay, so there's now people talk of artificial intelligence versus intelligence amplification. Okay, so like how to balance, how should we move ahead? So the present generation has lots and lots of responsibilities on their shoulder to actually make a drive to move ahead in a very proper way.
Thank you, ma'am. It was nice talking to you.
Nice, thank
you.
you,
Getting to know
Prasun.
about you, ma'am. And it was wonderful hearing about you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
This was act as an inspirational story for many youngsters.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prasun, for your giving me this opportunity to share this with you. You have also worked with me for a couple of years, so I remember how dedicatedly, how timely you used to give, and always my 11th hour help, like I need it tomorrow, Prasoon, it has to be done, and there was never a no from your side.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.